As the sun begins to set and you guys are pulled into night, there is the last sounds of footsteps approaching in stone and kind of like a harried breathing as Lucas Mueller enters into the mausoleum. I'm just kind of regarding the door before laboriously pushing it closed.
Well, scratch everything I said because he's gonna enter to Crow, throwing whatever loose debris and bricks and shit he can against the walls and really just bouncing all over the place.
Oh.
Hey.
We'll look at this and go, what's wrong with him? Didn't he kill the guy he wanted to kill this whole time?
I don't know. First things first, rats, door. Somebody help.
Everyone stares at him. Nobody goes to help.
Yeah, none of us are servants.
Yeah, you didn't say please, so.
The rats are distracted. How long you think that's gonna last? Look, I even got here. Fine, I'll do it myself. And he will just
Crow's in a stupor,
begin.
man. We got a really submissive party going here.
He will go ahead and go ahead.
I mean, I can give him a +1.
Yeah, it's fine. It's mostly flavor. He just wants somebody to help him.
Yeah, I guess after like we've got a shot of people staring at him and Crow like kind of flipping out blurry in the background. The pale lady will rise and she'll go to help him.
What took you so long anyway getting here? You were out of there before we were.
He will look over his shoulder and say, fighting wasn't exactly done when we left it. Had to circle back, and then, well, I had to guess where you'd end up. Got lucky.
I'm gonna empathy with my no empathy.
Yep.
I just almost did a +6.
Yeah, I mean, he seems exhausted, just by the effort.
I also want to try to check him. Just to see.
Yeah, I mean, again, he just seems exhausted.
Okay.
And a bit, like, frustrated, but glad to have the door shut.
Pale lady will look down on him and say, we have struck the accord. You will take us to your ship.
He will kind of dust his hands on his pants and say, yeah, all 5 of us. Still got 2 days ahead of us, and honestly, I think we need to make the most of that time.
While this is going on, Rakote didn't volunteer himself to help the door because he's going to move over to Crow, who is in the midst of a full-on temper tantrum. And he's going to approach and just really with little regard for his own safety. He's just going to say, we still don't actually know Crow's name, do we?
Nope. Sailor.
He's gonna guess it. So I'm gonna roll 1 in 652. And
Yeah.
if I get it, it's him. No, he's just gonna approach him and say, "Sailor, why this anger? Why are you not celebrating?"
He'll take note of Rakote, and there'll be a brief pause, and then there'll be a sort of terror as he starts to lurch toward you and grabs your lapels and making use of you says, Charlie McKay, what dost thou know?
Uh,
I don't think I ever formally asked you
Nope.
about
I
it,
don't.
so you probably could like reminded of it. Roll a contacts now, and if you roll well enough, you'll summon some knowledge, much as you knew about these other people.
Yeah, let me...
But I didn't
hold
find
on a
out about them
second.
through you.
I'm going to set the challenge at a 3.
God damn! Why did I use my last fate point on a
Shit,
fish?
we thought it was going to be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Oh,
What if
fuck.
I use a fate point
Wait, it was an empathy. Or no, never
Oh,
mind.
it was an empathy. Never mind.
I thought
No, that's an old roll.
Yeah,
I
I thought it was a
rolled yet.
roll, and Kane shook his head.
Oh no.
I thought that's exactly what was happening. Fuck whatever I said.
Yeah.
No, it's a context challenge of 3 to find out what you know about Charlie McKay.
It's gonna be bad. Hey!
Wow.
You don't need me, so I'll keep my secrets.
My work is done.
I'll keep my secrets. You just go full Gemini. You know the last piece of the puzzle, and you just tap your temple like knowingly.
All right, then keep your secrets.
All right then, keep your secrets.
Charlie McKay, the Fisher of Men, so appropriately named because of his kind of criminal enterprise of fishing up bodies from the ocean floor and then ransoming those bodies back to the families. He is a thief by nature. Very old name. Kind of first emerged maybe 40 years back, before eventually being brought aboard. Before being detained by the Gold Shirts. Kind of a sting operation and sent here to the Isle of Rats.
All right. What am I divining from that?
Very old man, a thief. And is there anything else that you think would be fair? Like, what else are you looking for?
Lucas, lift your hood.
Yeah,
He's old!
Is Lucas old?
No, Lucas is like 34.
Oh, it's not him. So I know that he's a very old man, and that he fishes up people, and what got him here was that he would ransom people.
Corpses, basically. Imagine like the ocean is a place of rest, or that's what people purport it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So he would go out to these drowned colonies, these vast oceans of like people, and pull them out, and then find out who they were, and then sell that body back to the family. Otherwise, they'd be denied their rest.
So I'm just thinking, with a success, is there any way that I can turn that into helpful information? Does that lead us in a direction?
Gives me a profile.
Okay. Yeah, so being shaken, he'll or just not shaken like a cartoon, but grabbed by the lapel. He'll sort of jog his memory, and he'll say, and I believed him to be Arnoux, right? That was.
I don't think you ever really put much thought. I mean, I'm sorry, like, I know this is going to be a little bit of a learning exercise, but
Sure.
This world is full of liars and cheats, and I'm going to play it like that.
Yeah, that's totally
So
fine.
you didn't really, I don't think you paid much attention, really, if I'm being straight with you. If you rolled even once, maybe I could say otherwise.
I'm trying to think, how did I connect that Charlie McKay was Arnoux? Was there not
I think
roll
this all
involved in
came
there?
from me. My investigation yielded a bunch of people being like, that's this guy. I can't even remember at this fucking point, but it sure felt like gospel at the goddamn time. It seemed like it was enough of a twist that the body I was looking for was the king of the land.
Well, that's
Sure.
all right. Okay, so I will. I'll reiterate that. Oh my gosh. Sorry, holy shit. Gotta start dying over here. Yes, sorry if that caught in the mic before I muted. I will. I'll start reiterating that and say, Charlie McKay, an older man, the fisher of men. And he'll look down at Arnoux's body, and he'll say, "So it wasn't him."
In the kindest way, you can tell that this is not deliberate. It's redirected aggression. So when Crow's hands tighten even tighter on your lapel, it's not about you. And so when he throws you against the wall, it's not about you.
Yeah.
As he rips the hook from his belt and just starts cleaving into Arnoux's neck and face in pure animal frustration.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. The guy who I gave that city to on a silver platter wasn't even the fucking guy you were looking for.
Crow is going to get on his hands and knees and lean in very close to the faint glint in Arnoux's eye and say, "In taking a name
Thou hast condemned thyself to eternal suffering. We'll make certain of this on your behalf.
Well,
And then
it's good that
launches
when you
back up.
jumped on him and fucked that whole thing up for us, that didn't completely screw it over then, I guess.
Crow's just pacing. I don't... We've come across a notable, very old man, but I don't know how to connect that in any way, other than the knowledge of knowing it.
You think about Herman?
No.
No.
Wait.
Wait.
I was thinking of the very old man. Yeah, Herman was even older than that. I was thinking of the old man I unshackled, but
Oh,
yes.
shit. The one
I remember
the one
now. Herman was the gospel from which I received this information, and he's missing his hands.
like a thief would.
What? No.
Yeah, like
So,
someone who takes.
Yeah, so thanks to whoever said Herman as it panned the camera up. So those synapses are going to connect inside Crow, and his hands are going to tighten against the thin air. And it's going to require Lucas to kind of stop him as he hurls himself toward the door to open it, completely not even thinking about the fact that it's the middle of the night.
Hey, they've been fed, but they're not full. Somebody stop them.
Lucas is just sitting with his hands on his knees. But he's like, someone, stop him.
Honestly, yes.
Well, I'm not stopping him.
Wait, maybe I can fail that equally as hard.
Wow.
Not
Can
quite.
I...
This might be unrealistic.
Yeah, let's
Anime,
all get
everyone's
in
pulling
here.
you back.
Yeah, it's just a fun little exercise.
Oh,
Jesus fucking Christ on a bike.
I
Hey,
want to
lady.
try to...
Yeah, go for it. What
I
do you
can't
think?
do anything cool tonight.
Holy shit!
I got Rostovan's hands out. Oh, did you roll?
No.
Come on, get in here.
I'd like to try to provoke him to stop with music.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So, do you stop Crow, or should she roll provoke
Yeah, I'm
against
not.
you?
I'm not making a huge deal. This isn't
Okay.
an actual challenge. It's more the Pale Lady's voice that gets his attention as he drags his nails down the stone and snaps his head in her direction.
Lucas said we had 2 days. There is still time if Charlie McKay walks.
2 days.
Until the boat arrives.
So, just to clarify, we're going to be starting in this top left corner of the day here. The boat will depart. The boat will arrive at the beginning of day 2. It'll depart at the end of day 2. So you have to get to the boat by this point.
Crow is going to have to push himself away from the wall and go back in his corner, and will clutch at his temples, and it's all he can do to restrain himself from having a freak out all night.
We need to be spending our time and resources actually getting off this island.
I agree, because we're not coming back. And as I've said before, we still have Laos between us and the boat. That's a tall order.
If this boat is not the one that takes us to freedom, I am sure another will come.
What are you talking about? This is the Isle of Rats. Nobody comes here. No one even wants to get close.
The only other boats that come here are those prison ships, and those things are decked out.
Yeah.
Not all of us can swim like you can.
No, maybe she wants us to ask the gold shirts nicely.
Regardless of what you choose to do, I have struck an accord, and I will act appropriately. You do not need to stay.
All right, great. We agree on that.
Thou hast no chance of passing the Rat King on thy own.
On the contrary, my 2 best weapons are free, so I think we have quite a chance without you.
Oh man.
Pitiful witch.
Rakote will intersect himself between the two people that could kill him with a thought. Yeah,
Honestly, the 4 people who could kill him without a thought.
yeah, actually, yeah, as the physically weakest person. But he will. He's got height, if nothing else. He's a pretty big dude. He'll loom into the conversation, and he'll say, "We are all exhausted from our time on the Isle of Rats. There is no reason to turn on each other now. We have become a crew, and we will stay a crew." He'll turn to Crow, and I like to think that if out of character I was able to grab Herman, that maybe I'm able to divine that might be the direction that we're heading. Wait, no, did I meet Herman? I don't think I did.
Nope, never
Nope.
once.
He'll say, "If Charlie McKay is not here in this corner of the island, then he is somewhere between us and our destination. That is the nature of coast-to-coast travel. If the sailor has a strong idea of where to find him, we will stop and search. Rastavan, we have freed you from your bondage. You and I have traveled far together. I would hope that that is enough, that you would consider this and not so easily leave us behind. But if the two of you should, that is what you choose to do. I will remain with the sailor and the lady, and my ship with me."
Lucas looks towards you, Rostavan.
Well, if I didn't have my hands off by now, might have been harder to sway me, but I suppose a few more days on this place isn't gonna matter.
What is God willing a thing that people would say, or no? Is it, do you say like by the new king, or what is like?
Yeah, that's something honestly I need to come up with. It always seems a little tacky, but like you can't say God or hell. Like I even said hell once. I'm like, that's wrong.
Right.
Yeah, like by the ocean's tide, by the name of the good king, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
He'll say, "And by the tide, we won't need to worry. We can complete this in 2 moons. We should all rest. The rats will try their damnedest to prevent that."
Crow is going to sit himself back down in his corner, obviously completely fidgety, but he will redirect that energy by, as long as he is awake, steadily dragging a hook across Arno's visage.
Christ.
Over and over and over and over until he's not conscious.
Yeah.
Rakote is going to look to you, Pale Lady, and say, "Perhaps a lullaby tonight."
No.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, she'll go ahead and start singing, without really any sort of confirmation.
Yeah.
She does that one song that one Russian guy sings really high.
God, yeah. Tra-la-la-la guy. Okay. Thankfully, all of you have chose a pretty fortified position to hold up for the night. Crow, you can completely skip it since you have the cloak. Everyone else, you're rolling against a physique 2.
All right. Wait.
Oh, God.
So 2 for Mac, 2
Oh,
for
God.
Rakote, 1
Jesus
for
Christ.
Sean.
That's all right.
So, yep, 2 Mac, 2 Rakote, 1 Sean. A relatively, probably the best night's sleep you guys have had in a long time, all things considered. And eventually,
can I spend a fate point and fucking tap my goddamn life or fuel?
Yeah. Do you have a fate point before the refresh?
I do.
Yeah. Yes. Then that's perfectly fine.
Fuck that. Use my newfound hands.
Wring the life from these rats that try to assault you. Just grab them by the.
Grab them and then burn them in my hands.
Yeah, it's more of an immediate sensation, but you do so as a few flames erupt through the night.
It'll be a nice way to get my grip strength back.
Squeezing, yeah, fucking medicine ball. It's a little rat.
Pretty soon I can jerk off. So.
That is your extreme consequence.
I have to get the penis cage off of my dick.
Challenge of 12.
Drop trout. It's very.
God damn it!
It just becomes very fashy suddenly, and it's like, oh, someone put that shit in that shit. What the fuck?
Who did this to you? I did this to me.
The whole thing? Why?
Oh, the satisfaction.
After his hands are finally free, Rastavan looks down his pants and just goes, "Part 1 complete."
Part 1.
We got a lot of lost time to make up for, buddy. All right. Well, morning eventually comes, and
Well, not
oh wow! All right, all
do.
right. Throwing rope.
Yeah. Throwing.
Molten fucking ropes.
Well, that sucks. I hate that lore. That's in the wiki now.
I don't like throwing rope because I'm used to shooting rope, and throwing rope has other implications, like you're feeding the birds, man.
Plotting aesthetic to it.
I'm firing. It's like a fucking string of napalm in Vietnam.
Christ. Oh!
It's okay, I like it like this.
The
what I
fire
want.
inside me burnt brighter than the one outside of me.
People burn the candles and shit. You know, it's the next step.
I think we should have left his hands in the cage.
Yeah.
This is why they put him in the
This
cage.
is why they put him in.
Yeah, we put him right back in.
He's like, Lucas, we need to return to the forge.
I was sent to this island for public masturbation. Wait, you're sent to this fucking island for that? It's like, listen, mine's a little different.
Listen, this one was a felony.
This one took down the theater and Pee Wee Herman all in one go.
Well, way to name drop Rastavan.
Burned him and the theater.
I'm a hero to some people. Oh my god.
Call back to Pee Wee Herman jerking off in a theater, getting someone thrown to prison.
Yeah.
Crow shoots up as soon as there's a crack of sunlight.
Yep.
As soon as one of the rat birds starts chirping.
Oh, that's horrifying. It definitely is real. No.
With wings somehow. It's just been mutated into that.
200 years of evolution have led to this.
Before anyone else can crack a fucking eye, he drags Arnoux out of the stone door and quickly sets to work stringing him up on something crucifix-like to hang there just out of reach of rats for until the sun decays his body into nothing.
Holy shit. Yeah, all right. The rest of you will awaken to the sound of like woodcraft as Crow eventually just props up Arnoux, his desiccated body, much worse than the night that left it. And I think at that point all of you can be kind of awake and underneath this horrible crucifixion.
I don't want to be.
Yeah. Well, Lucas
go back
is
to
gonna
sleep.
Lucas is gonna look up at it and say, "They're gonna want to know who did that. We need to be off this island 2 days." And he's gonna start marching.
I'm gonna look at the body and go, well, if he's not using that anymore, maybe I could
Nay,
Why not? He's not even your guy.
he will stayeth up there to bake in the sun and serve as example, shredded though he may be.
The amount of life force in that guy must be... Ooh.
Aye, he will rot for a long while.
Crow
Oh, fine.
glares disapprovingly up at Arnoux before finally turning his shoulder and marching.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, for them.
Okay. You guys have your whole day ahead of you. Where are you heading?
Beeline for
To
evil
the
stuff.
store.
Yeah, I imagine we're going right to Eibelstadt.
It sounds
Okay.
like she wants to go to the store.
Get some shoes, maybe, like a
Yeah.
purse.
So we did talk about going to DSW, Designer Shoe Warehouse. So why don't we do like a party split?
Right.
Declan and I will be Eibelstadt. Sean and Matt can go to Designer Shoe Warehouse.
The whole shopping district is over here in the Plaguelands. You see a rat and a big skateboard.
Is he doing any tricks?
Of course he is. He's hanging 10, he's all-in, he manuals all the way to the food court.
Holy
You can't
fuck.
fucking stop this guy.
You really cannot.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 soundtrack is blaring over
Tony
the
Hawk
intercoms.
who? Fucking Tony Rat, my man.
Tony Rat, that's it.
Yeah,
Tony Ratballs!
God damn it.
Tony Rat Balls.
Okay.
On this island, I'm the giant rat who makes all the rules.
Unless you think you can beat me in a race.
Oh, Christ.
he's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
He's horribly slow so that kids can be able to outrace him.
Yeah, oh my god, like the fucking in Mario 64. Yeah.
It's a fucking ghost. All right, we need to get to Eibelstadt.
Yeah, okay, I'm dragging you to
We're gonna have
Eibelstadt.
45 more minutes of Tony Rat Balls if we don't.
Yeah. You all proceed to Eibelstadt. As you approach, you can see that the camp that had been situated for all of the garrisons that were marching on Vertrauen are still empty. The troops have not returned from their conquest, victorious as they were. And instead, it seems like Eibelstadt is just kind of waiting. There are plenty of men and women kind of tending to the camp, awaiting the arrival of the men, preparing soups and dishes to celebrate their victory.
I'm gonna march through town for where I knew Herman's office to be.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. No one seems to stop you, though, if you take notice and kind of look over your shoulder to see if other soldiers are returning home. So, Crow, you kind of lead the procession, and as they do, Rakote, give me an athletics against a challenge of 1.
Yeah, fuck you, Rakote.
All right. Yeah.
Some teenagers take him out at the knees with a sack tap.
You're hit square in the face with a root vegetable.
Oh.
It's kinda like thuds. There's no damage associated with this. But the kind of like hard skin of this orange carrot just plants itself firmly in your schnoz.
Yeah, I look up to see who has thrown a carrot at me.
When you look over, you see that it is the matron of the lodge you were staying at, back at the Tomb of the Forgotten. The woman that you were paying with fish.
Ah,
You love him and left him, huh, Rakote? I've been there.
always.
You can see her dusting her hands with her skirt before she turns to the table and readies another vegetable.
Is
Oh,
this,
wow,
this- she's like throwing fruit at me for a mean way. This wasn't like.
Oh yeah, no, this
Yeah.
is not. This isn't a meat cute.
Ah, I see we are not flirting now.
Yes. I will be back. Move along to Herman. I must see this through. Yeah, I will. I'll just kind of pull my lapel up and keep moving.
Yeah, she will just call out behind you. You're supposed to keep him safe.
You're gonna get drawn in.
I I don't have time to address this woman and
That's fine.
try to figure out Herman.
Yep.
He's gonna fight the urge to look over his shoulder, and he's just gonna keep walking.
You're
Yeah,
alright
as
to
you
split with her if you want to resolve your lady troubles.
tell me, Dave, you continue on?
Yeah, I'll keep going.
Yeah, there'll just kind of be a shot of this woman over your shoulder as you continue plodding forward. You're supposed to look after him, and now his body is left with those monsters. Did you even think about that? And they'll just kind of look after you and kind of let the vegetable fall from her hand. And she will continue watching as you eventually approach Herman's estate. And as you do, Crow, you were here just 4 days ago. It feels like a lifetime. But the gate stands unguarded.
Crow's gonna slam the door open with as loud a bass boosted sound effect as he can.
Empty. Just kind of vacant doors open, some papers scattered about, and the garden up above you.
Is the whole building empty or this room?
Just the first floor. Second
Okay.
floor is where the garden's at.
I stomp up to the garden.
I want to add that I'm walking behind Crow as close as I can.
Okay.
Give him a flat tire.
Stop! Stop!
His new Nikes.
Stop.
God!
Stop.
And much like you left him, Crow, you turn the corner into this well-lit kind of atrium with Herman down on one knee looking over the field of poppy. And he slowly kind of inclines his head and smiles at you plainly.
What's Herman's athletics?
A 0.
I harpoon him!
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Describe to me what happens is Herman's eyes kind of alight.
I imagine he's got whatever condescending smile he had on for me normally.
Yep.
But like it cuts from his expression meeting where we are in the frame to the harpoon growing larger into frame quickly, hurtling towards him as it punctures clean through his flesh.
Yeah. It does, and he just is tumbling backwards. He's a very old man, and you can see that he doesn't have much stability. His hands are completely ornamental, and they kind of break against the ground. But you hear him laugh as he just says, "You're still here, which means Arnoux is dead. Knew you'd be the one for the job."
Sounded like Dave had...
Yep.
Yeah, I imagine. I'm not sure if Crow's going to demand answers or rip his throat out before I can get to him. So Rakote will look down at him as he's dragged by the spear, and he's just going to say, "Why did you do it?"
That bastard took my arms. Then he took my poppy. And I'm supposed to be grateful that he left me my life? No. And then he will just kind of like situate himself a little bit. He'll kind of prop himself up and say, "I don't have much time left. I'd gladly trade it for Arnoux's head."
Rakote he's going to look down at him, and he's not angry. He'll take his hat off and kind of hold it over his chest as he feels like he's about to observe a man dying. With one eye permanently swollen shut, as depicted before. He's not bald under there. He maintains a little bit of that former, somewhat attractive upper class man that he used to be. But he'll look a little bit more human than he has, and he'll say, "There is no shame in risking everything to bring revenge against those who ruined you. But we've done your dirty work, and if you would do us a kindness, speak to us your true name before you die.
Charlie McKay.
The last
he's not gonna say
syllable
anything
is
else.
cut off as Crow's green hands lurch into frame and yank him. I put him onto his knees and draw rope from my sack. I quickly fashion a sailor's noose, which I wrap around his neck, hoist over a banister, and begin to pull with my own weight, hanging him not by the breaking of the neck, but a slow, cruel suffocation held aloft.
Yeah, almost despite himself, Herman will pull up his hands with non-articulate fingers and try to pry open the rope, but he knows better, and he will kind of cast his eyes towards you, Crow, as you leverage your weight and pull him up and say, I knew what you were. As soon as I saw you. A killer. If someone's gonna die, it might as well be a person who deserves it.
Crow is going to meet eyes. His eyes look like fucking Anton Chigurh in the opening scene of No Country.
Yes.
A sort of horrible ecstasy, and he looks at Rostavan and says,
Would payest thou a favor, if thine will returnest one now?
What is he saying?
I'll do you a favor if you do me one right now.
Alright. He'll, have his arms crossed and he'll say, alright, shoot.
Set this garden ablaze before the heathen's eyes.
Oh, man. Stop! He'll shout from up above. You can see that hits a nerve.
My eyes get more Chigurh.
Are we sure this is the guy then?
Can I empathy that, Charlie McKay?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Rostavan says aloud, by the way.
Fate's making this as hard as possible
Yeah.
to roll 20. Sorry, Fate. It's not your fault.
I'm not doing a voice or accent for Rostavan, so sometimes it's a bit difficult to...
Okay, he might just be saying out of spite. This might just be another string that he's pulling you along.
Crow
Oh,
says,
Jesus Christ.
he meets Rostavan and answer says,
If he is not, we'll move on to the next. One more dead old man on an island he's not fit to surviveth.
Look, as much as I can empathize with setting an entire island ablaze, we don't really have time to be killing every single person we encounter who is old or has power.
Crow loses patience and yanks up hard on the rope to snap the man's neck.
Yeah, no roll necessary. His neck immediately snaps. And all of his weight kind of falls down to his feet.
I drop him
Well.
and pull out my list.
And there, on the list, is that indelible mark you were looking for.
Oh, thank God.
Carefully matching out the name Charlie McKay.
Yeah, this once someone connected my brain wires and I put together what this was, it became an infinitely less frustrating dead end. Because
Yes.
this makes sense.
Yes, I promise it was not an arbitrary bullshit thing. He created an advantage at the beginning to lie to you. I was like, maybe that'll be something, but he led you along. It was his plan.
Yes. I now see the logic because when it was just me looking at an island, an entire island of possibility, and
Yep.
not fucking understanding, it was a frustrating concept, but this made infinite sense.
Yeah, and guess what? He was never gonna fucking fight you.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you found out he was dead, so... That's it for Herman, and I think that's kind of the shot as he stands there lifelessly, floating above the rafter.
I jam the paper in Rostovan's face, and then lower it and say,
Then no favor.
and use the rope already wrapped around the man to hogtie the rest of him in the same way I did Arnoux, and don him as my luggage.
All right. Lucas is going to regard this kind of makeshift carrying the case that you made for Herman and say, "Do you mind covering the man? A lot of people know him here."
I look at my back, and then I just I turn and say,
A tarp, then.
Yeah, okay. And he'll just act as if, okay, I guess I'm the one who has to find it as he
Yeah.
goes off
Water
and
boy.
returns. Yeah, he
Water
returns with
boy.
something suitable. And after a moment, there will be kind of like a concealed pack on your back.
He's clearly got a high heart rate and is having a tough time coming down from it, but Crow is starting to enter that docile state again, although after it was previously ripped away from him, he's on edge.
A dog with a bone. Do not touch this thing.
Yeah. And then eventually, yeah, his eyes settle from the fervor of a kill to the gentle deference of looking to Ricote.
Oh. He will regard the crew and he'll say, "To Laos, then."
Aye.
Let us leave this island.
Yes, by all means.
Okay. In that case, all of you can leave Herman's estate, kind of passing down those same streets, and Ricote, you can see the matron looking out at you, but this time she stays her hand.
Oh,
Just continues watching as you leave.
I missed
I feel
the.
like for
I've forgotten
Oh,
the lore. What is she mad about, Dave?
she asked me specifically to it was to protect Arnoux, right?
No,
No.
You-
Herman? No, who did she ask me to protect?
you don't know. She said you were responsible for someone.
Oh, but I don't know what she's referring to?
I mean, you have the information as a player.
Oh, shit.
Well, who are all the people that we've killed of note, everybody?
Isn't there some kid that you said you were gonna watch over or something? Or am I
Oh,
crazy?
yeah. Were we keeping an eye out for her son?
Nope.
No.
Wow.
You have to go up to her like, "Hey, this is awkward. What are you mad about?"
Oh, God. I kept a journal for, like, the first, like, 2 or 3 sessions, and I like, was sloppy about it last time. God, what? You said you were going to protect him.
Can you roll a lore and Kane will tell you? What's the
I
challenge?
kind of
Kane?
don't want to, but fuck. I kind of don't want to. if
Well,
I'm
you might
being
not have
honest.
to if he fails. What's
Uh,
the challenge?
Challenge of 2.
Oh,
That's
God.
fair.
No, I'm not going to make it.
Oh, I'm so mad. I wanted you not to know. I'm so pissed. You were specifically told to keep 2 people with you safe when you were going to
Oh!
investigate the
Right.
the cannibals.
And
Right.
we used them to fucking as like human shield. That's right. Oh God.
And now I can reveal that all social roles involving townsfolk here or the Tomb of the Forgotten are 2 challenges harder.
That's more than fair. Oh man. All right.
His name was
Well-
Guitar.
That's right. Guitar. It was God, I should have just opened my journal because I have that chunk written down. I think I have it underlined. Like
It was Guitar and Irma.
it's Guitar and Irma, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd burn that guy.
You
think-
did.
I think
You
you did.
did.
I think
I
you
think
did.
I've heard that guy.
And you left their bodies with cannibals.
We
Oh,
did.
nice.
Oh man, that was awful. I mortally betrayed.
You're just
so-
standing there staring at her, like furrowing your brow, like, how do I know you? And she's crying on the ground.
If I was going to apologize, how would it start?
She's like, let's do some free association. I
I owe you an
No.
apology, of course, for...
obviously I'm very sorry about what you just said, and I want you to know that I mean it. Okay, well I'm gonna slide. I'll let you chew on that. Yeah, so you have the satisfaction, Kane, because sometimes when a player just doesn't engage with something, I'm not like walking away with Nickelback playing in pyrotechnics as I walk past this woman. I am deeply disturbed by her pain, having really had no intention of helping either of those people, literally just seeing them as numbers to get Rastavan and I through a conflict. It's bumming me out quite a bit. The character, he's sad about it as he does his best to just walk past without paying her any mind, knowing he will likely never see this person again. Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss. Move on. Yeah, we leave.
Yeah. Sorry, I was muted again. Yeah, that'll be the shot as you leave Evil Shot. This woman just kind of glaring onwards. And all of you find the open road. And yeah, you technically have all of today, and then tomorrow morning was when the ship would arrive. So is there anything you'd like to do before then? Or should I bring us to the crypts?
I'll fish again if there's time.
Yep, easily. Challenge of 2.
Okay.
Oh.
Random fish currently.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm going to learn my lesson from last time. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Take drive.
Yeah, take drive.
I have, just to be frank, I have, where is it? Random skills table. There are 23 random skills it could be.
Oh,
All right. Great. Well, as I finish fishing, as I did with Rastavan, I will impart a fish to Crow. My God, sorry, this medicine's kicking my ass. I will give a fish to Crow, but I'm not going to give him this one. I'm going to give him the jellyfish. And I have the text here just for Declan's sake if he wants to copy that to his sheet.
Yes, I could use it for that purpose.
My gosh, I hate when Roll20 just decides to fucking minimize your sheet and then never allow you to reopen it with a scroll bar. Here we go. So... No, what? I copied it down. What the fuck? Oh, here it is. All right. So, Kote will he'll hand this over to you, Crow, and he'll say, I had meant to gift this to you after your first attempt at destroying Charlie McKay, but obviously the tone of the night was not right. But please take this. It only sees to enhance your strengths.
Crow receives the jellyfish and, as a killer of the ocean, recognizes it and simply says,
Man o' war. Potent.
Aye.
and stows it away.
And I will give this other fish to you, Pale Lady.
Oh.
Because it's not a very good captain to give everybody else presents and then not give you one. And he'll say, I had hoped we would have something to celebrate for you, but let's say perhaps this is more of a show of good faith between you and I, that I do intend to make good on my promise to you.
You are quite skilled.
He'll say,
Gets nervous talking to girls.
he does, yeah, he starts sweating.
Yep.
He takes that as, like, he reads into that way too much, like you're just being nice. He'll just say, the crew needs to eat.
She will accept the fish with a nod of her head and say, no, she doesn't have anything more right now. She'll just accept the fish with a gentle bob of her head and return to kind of staring out over the horizon.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll just keep going back to marching then.
Is this the fish you just caught?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to call it out since it has been a lot of sessions. You guys had freed the man from his shackles, so he had given you the location of the grave of 2 children. Do you want to stop there?
Oh, that's right. I think since it's on the way, Crow will lean down as advisor to Rakote and say,
Feeble elder indicated. Source of plunder. On path.
Perhaps then we could continue to line our pockets before we leave. We have plenty of time.
I point my finger.
Yep. And you point up the face of a steep cliff, one completely covered in gravestones. But it's not going to require an investigation challenge. You guys succeeded on that previous quest, so this is the reward element of that. As you climb higher and higher up the point, you eventually find what you're looking for, a kind of monumental grave, the face of which depicts a scattering of bones and kind of follows itself upwards to these bones reassembling themselves, growing skin, and looking up directly to a sun. And you see that these 2 figures are children. And directly in front of you is the grave itself, requiring a bit of physical strength to push aside. So I'd set the physique challenge at a 2.
I can give anybody a +1.
I'm strong.
Okay. So you can add +1. Okay, perfect. Crow, Rakote, you put your backs into it and slowly see the stone begin to budge, eventually kind of cresting over the other side and come tumbling down. And what you look into is a a mortuary box, where 2 children just kind of are laying down looking directly into the eyes of each other. And placed in between the 2 of them is a wooden chest.
With zero hesitation, he digs the kid bones apart and pulls the box out to examine it.
Yeah, perfect. You can see that their bodies are actually fairly well preserved, though dry and worn, but you are able to reach in deep and pull the box above. And when you open it, it has 8 units worth of crowns in it.
Damn.
I squeeze a rag out over the children to rehydrate them, which should revive them if they're.
Yeah.
It does, and it's horrible.
So
You're
8
up.
crowns. We each get 2.
That's up to Crow.
It depends on who we tell. Crow doesn't make much of currency, and so he just jangles the crowns around and then, as if it means nothing to him, shows them to you.
He'll reach his hand for the box to see if Crow will give it up.
Yeah.
And he's gonna bring it down to everybody. And out of character, because Rakote is going to ask, how many crowns does everybody have right now?
I'm at
7.
I also have 7.
I'm at 3, but
I'm at 3.
I also don't think it's a huge object to me.
Okay.
Similarly to whoever Declan's playing.
Bro.
whatever his name is.
Yeah,
that
sure.
guy. I don't even know his name.
I don't even know his name.
All right. So hold on, Crow. So with 8 crowns, Rakote is going to look at that, and he's going to look at Rostavan, and he's going to look at the pale lady. He's going to look at everybody. He looks at Lucas for a while. He walks and looks at himself in the water reflection.
He's like, oh!
Just narrating. and
The
looking at
reflection winks when he doesn't. Goes, ah!
Let's see. Because I feel like it would make the most sense to give 4 to Declan and 4 to Mac. But I don't feel great about giving Sean nothing. So maybe I'll do... Well, he's gonna look to... We can just talk it out first. He's gonna look to Rostavan, and he's going to say, seems you and I have lined our pockets with more plunder than the others. He's gonna say, would you feel betrayed if you didn't receive a portion of this loot?
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure... I told you at the beginning of this whole thing, I had no interest in these trinkets.
Very well then. I appreciate your understanding, he says, as if you didn't just say I don't fucking care. And he's gonna split it in half and give half to the pale lady and half to Crow.
Nice.
We both receive it like kids getting socks on Christmas, or we're like, thanks.
Oh, what do I do with that?
Oh.
Crow tries to eat it and throws it away. Sometimes they're chocolate.
And oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Kane, I want to attempt to rearrange the remains of the 2 children to reform them into like an ashen hearth.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, you can do so.
Yeah,
This guy's a freak.
He'll be more concerned with doing that, and this will play to my my third aspect. Should I roll for it, or should that just be an ambient thing that happens?
No, it's ambient.
Okay.
If anything, Lucas just kind of watches over you for a moment. I'm not quite sure what you're doing.
Yeah, he's just trying to get his mojo back for creating things in the shape of fire. With his hands again. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. There will be kind of a calmness as all of you kind of disperse your funds. You're high up on the mountaintop at this point, far away from the town, though you can still see it in the distance. There's kind of a gentle breeze that kisses your cheeks as you look down on this valley. You still have plenty of time ahead of you. Like, honestly, you could get here by the end of the day, or anywhere else if you want to stay there, stay here. It's all achievable, so where would you guys like to go?
I think we should go straight to the rat catcher.
Okay.
Yes, I'd try to go straight there. The lady seems pretty intent on that.
We probably should.
Okay. Perfect. In that case, it's a fairly quiet journey. The weather holds, and in good time, you find the kind of a towering structure. Let me find this real quick.